Attack on Titan Chapter 131. Looks like Eren is enjoying freedom. So what's up guys, Foxen here. Attack Titan Eren will keep advancing forward. And honestly, how many of you were ready for this massive chaos? You got like 4 chapters left. So go ahead and also smash that like for Eren, otherwise he'll get you next. Do ring the bell and subscribe for more juicy videos, and a thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring. If you're like me, you're spending hours on anime and streaming, definitely a lot of Crunchyroll, Netflix, or Disney+. So why not check out a bigger anime selection on Netflix? How about watching some crazy Japanese TV shows? Which is also great if you're learning Japanese or just curious. That's super easy using Surfshark's Japanese VPN. For Crunchyroll, switching to the US actually gives you a much bigger anime selection. Simply choose any country to stream from without actually being there. I mentioned Disney Plus since it took like a half a year to release in Japan. Using a VPN allowed me to watch The Mandalorian. I'm still waiting on the Marvel shows. You can use it on your PC, phone, or all of them at the same time. And you can breeze easy, they don't keep logs. There is 24/7 support, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not super happy. My special will get you 85% off plus 3 months extra for free. I'm surprised at how cheap this is. So if you're spending hours online, definitely consider securing yourself today. Alright, so last time Mr. Freedom finally got his skeleton bat self plus the Red Army over to Marley. Kicking this off, a different POV this chapter, this time from the kid that Eren and friends met on their trip to Marley. So you're getting more to the sandhill that was previously hinted at. Really the kid and his family being super poor, which really not too surprising. The poor kid was pickpocketing left and right to try to help his family. The only questionable thing here was really the hiding spot. Kid, you're about to get jacked. So taking a step back, Isayama is now helping to give more of a face and perspective to the others affected by Eren's attack on Marley v2, or more accurately, attack on Earth. Cause sure, you can argue Marley equals bad, but then you also have the other Eldians plus anyone that's not a Marleyan involved now. So you got a panel shot of birds flying away, getting away from danger, that's never a good thing. Pretty obvious metaphor of death, and tons of it. So finally getting some type of perspective from Eren over half a year later. This whole Marley scene was really adding more context to the flashback from Attack on Titan Chapter 123. You know, when they had the trip over to Marley. So how horrible is this whole situation in so many different ways? Mikasa was having ice cream while Eren over here was having this internal struggle. At least right now, trying to see it from Eren's point of view. Right when he landed on Marley, Eren was already picturing this first-class view of everyone he was about to wipe out in the not-so-distant future. I do like how you can see Eren's thought process, as you see him piecing everything together. All of the people here will be killed by Eren, which means whatever they're doing at Marley right now will ultimately fail. Which then by extension means that the Survey Corps found no alternative solution. The Attack Titan will move forward into Marley. And goddamn, Isayama even brought Carla back for this. What would Mama think about my actions? Although that really goes without saying, the answer to that is pretty crystal clear. So very interesting to notice here how much more Eren resembles his Papa Grisha. Not only physically, but the emotional and mental distress he's carrying. It should be obvious, but this is a really complicated issue without a clear solution. At least at the moment from Eren's perspective. I mean, if you're trying to put it on a scale like Eren was thinking right here, it is the lives of a few million versus the body count of several times that from the outside world. Really fulfilling the prophecy of what these Eldian devils are. So while you have Eren here visually struggling to find an answer, one thing is clear. Eren did not want his Eldian people to die. Anyway, as for little Ramsey, Eren you donut. 2 things about this. First off, Eren does claim that he recognizes them from his memories. This goes back to the memory shards you saw after Gabby went God mode on Eren's coconut. At the time, it seemed to confirm past and future memories that Eren got access to, Ramsey being among them. This chapter, Eren claims he saw the kid in the future memories. So I'm predicting these memory shards are actually what Eren saw when he filled up historia. Although I'm predicting there's still important memories that haven't been revealed just yet to you. Then 2, I was wondering, when did this scene take place? Looking back at the chapter, it looks like it was during the time when everyone met up with Kiyomi. Eren mysteriously disappeared from them. So yes, it looks like good deeds don't go unpunished. You got the little munchkin that got saved by Levi, but that really only delayed the ass whooping. Likewise, this leads into a very interesting dilemma for Eren. He knows this kid will die, which is something that's going to be by his own doing, yet he struggles whether or not to help him out before his future demise. And I'm trying to find an in real life comparison to this. Although it feels like anything I mention will have some keywords that YouTube does not like. Feel free to chime in. Perhaps one of the most interesting pieces of the whole chapter is Eren finally coming to terms regarding this unchangeable future, really going back to the thought of everything being connected in the Attack on Titan story. Past, present, and future are connected via Titans anyway, notably one very special one. I do very much believe that Eren has managed to find some sort of solution to go against the supposed set-in-stone future, which is something that he should be moving towards right now. By the way, Eren crying and apologizing here. Again, this goes back to Attack on Titan chapter 123, where Eren was a little wet when Mikasa found him. Did something happen? No, Mikasa, not yet. Anyway, getting into the massive stampede, more close up. Forget about the OG Colossal Titan or Armin's. The new ones are looking eerie as hell. This one right here is nightmare fuel. Although, then looking at the one to the side, looks like this is the runt of the litter. Really, what a damning far shot. Previously, you had Titans initially being compared to zombies, but at least for zombies, you were able to fight or run away. Against Titans, that was really futile. Then you have Colossal Titans, which are really arbiters of death. And the little dude over here still carrying his hard-saved bag of money. So you have Eren sobbing here, really coming to the realization that again how cruel this world is. Not at all living up to the dream he had as a kid. This feels only similar to what Eren was able to piece together upon reaching the ocean. It also feels like it applied to many things in life. I'm sure you could relate, especially when becoming an adult. Oh, the disappointment in some things. Then for Eren's line, when I learned humanity lived outside the walls, I was disappointed. I'm thinking, is this intentional by Isayama? It feels like a very meta line. In case you don't know what I mean by this, if there has been any complaint about Attack on Titan, it naturally has been with the whole basement reveal. Putting aside some online places trying to get some clicks from supposed Nazi clickbait, this was centered around humanity still existing. You thought humanity was wiped out? Nope. And definitely let me know your thoughts about this, especially years later. Were you disappointed with humans still around globally? Have your thoughts changed since the basement reveal? I mean, if you were anime only back then, they pretty much hammered humanity existing outside of the walls with the events surrounding Ymir in Attack on Titan Season 2. For me, I can't say I was surprised with the reveal. Immediately, it reminded me of two series, the original Fullmetal Alchemist and Claymore. Alright, so getting into it, cry time. Ramsey becoming a very berry pancake. I got a feeling this was definitely going to be censored or super steamed or dusty. For me, actually, the worst shot was the family and the people stuck behind the wall and door here. What made the dagger sing was this poor fella just looking up, completely given up at his fate. The most interesting part here is little Ymir being present. What could this mean? Although this should have been what she wished for. The question is, why is she appearing in front of this kid she never met? Could Ymir now be an extension of Eren? Which could mean Eren is witnessing the chaos from many different angles. That does make you wonder, what else is Eren witnessing? By the way, did anyone think the leftover work of art looked strange? Almost like a burn mark. So random ass theory out of my shiny ass. What if the Colossal Titans aren't only killing, but maybe absorbing anyone they do kill? Perhaps all of them are going to be reborn as Eldians in the future. Or why not have Ymir remake them? Probably not, seems like too much of a stretch. Anyway, as for Dino Eren, although I'm not too convinced about that name anymore. You can see the guy from a different angle with that massive skeleton body. Still, you got those super tiny legs in the back. I was waiting to see more of it before deciding, and definitely let me know your thoughts on the whole look. I can now say I'm not really a fan, but I don't dislike it either. It's really middle of the road for me. Just the size of this thing really makes it seem like they won't really be able to have this grand finale type of battle if anyone was hoping for that. I mean, just go ahead and destroy the skull, then the Colossal Titans will fall over. As for Kid Eren and the Armin scene, what a weird development. It feels like this will surely have multiple interpretations. Let me go ahead and take a stab with my initial thoughts. You got young Eren here imitating the Titanic shot. This really feels like Eren not only accepting and embracing, but also enjoying what he's doing. At least by channeling his young self before the wars destroyed his hometown. He's now allowing himself to enjoy this side of freedom, something that he couldn't even do when he got to the ocean. Then for Armin, it almost seems clear that Eren is only communicating to Armin via the Titan realm. Now that he's destroyed Marley and killed what, thousands, tens of thousands? Perhaps Eren is not only giving the okay to Armin to stop him, and even encouraging him, but also the secret means of doing so. Oh yes, Eren's Jaeger Requiem plan. Naturally, Armin and Mikasa can't just kill him. They need someone to eat Eren so they can actually control the Colossal Titans. That was my quick take. Feel free to leave your own interpretation. I will definitely need to do a follow-up on the current event soon. Next up, an Armin and Annie moment. Ooh, I was talking about romance just a few days ago. I gotta say, I really love seeing more from Annie. I really do wish Isayama would show more of these calmer moments. You know, a conversation between former friends turned enemies, especially now that everyone's working together. This is the type of glue that was desperately needed in that super rushed chapter. You know, the one where they started Team AOT Avengers. So you have the lonely Annie plus the blonde boy Armin that wanted to see her. Aww. Honestly, I wish I could enjoy this little moment more, but I'm just wondering, how much of this is actually Armin's feelings? And how much of this is possible influence from Bert oozing out? They still haven't discussed that awkward topic. I mean, it's not like Armin and Annie shared too many moments before her going into REM status. Hell, Eren and Annie had more moments. I guess to be fair, both of them do understand one another. Both of them are Titans, plus they got so much blood on their hands. Oh, and for anyone rooting for Mikasa and Armin, looks like this kills that off. Then for the Seagull KFC looking at Armin. Hey Eren, are you controlling that? I can't be the only one that thought this looked a little odd. It's really making me think of something straight out of Game of Thrones. I'm still praying Attack on Titan doesn't turn into that bag of crap. Hey Eren the Broken, are you spying on them? Are you trying to give Armin more pushes either towards Annie or to come at you? Next up, the final shot of Eren in his new Shinigami Titan form, this time inside. You got the chin matching his new Titan look, plus the tentacles hooked up into the brain. It appears the guy is not even conscious, perhaps fueling my quick theory of Eren working his magic behind the scenes, maybe getting other things ready inside the Titan realm. When I first saw this, it almost looked like Eren is binded, which really brings a line from Isayama talking about Eren in the past. You got Eren moving towards freedom, yet Isayama has described Eren as being a slave to this Attack on Titan story. The panel here echoes some of that sentiment. Eren has always been trapped, he's never really been free. You definitely don't want to be this shonen protagonist. Overall for this chapter, how sad was it? What was the most devastating, heart-wrenching scene? For me, I do feel like a lot more of this will be much more impactful with the actual anime. You know, with Sawano's score, blasting, plus the sound design, plus the actual voice actors screaming here. That's gonna be bone-chilling. For the extra events that played out, it doesn't really feel like it changes too much where you think the story is headed. I would say that the killing and destruction displayed here would almost foreshadow Isayama saying, screw it, I'm gonna go with that much darker ending. After that, it'll be for the fans to debate among themselves. If only he didn't already show that final panel. That really is a beacon of hope. As for how Mappa Studio is going to handle the rumbling, is there an incoming CG mess? Although to be honest, he could probably do what Isayama is doing here. Mostly still images, especially for overhead establishing shots. Then animation for close-ups like the Colossal Titan feet. That said, you really shouldn't be surprised about censoring. I could tell you a lot of things like Zeke's gory face or Eren's blown off body have gotten my past videos flagged. I would actually much prefer if they either made the anime super darkened for some parts, or hell, just use the thick bars. At least that stuff could later be removed for the adult stream or be removed on the Blu-ray release. That's much better compared to not having it at all. And for me, it's not even that I want to see something gory, I just want to see what's actually in the manga. By the way, does anyone want me to suffer watching the live action Attack on Titan? Let's try this again for this video since the other video got suppressed. If this gets over 9,000 likes by the end of this week, this will happen. Also, definitely be sure to check out the sponsor, Surfshark, below. You do get 85% off, which is really cheap. Plus, you're helping to support the channel during these tough times. Anyway, more important, definitely let me hear your thoughts on this chapter. How many of you are still on Team Eren? It's not going to be too long until he passes the warrior kill count. Go ahead and check out my recent Attack on Titan romance video that got suppressed. Also the latest juicy SAO video, and I'll see you guys later.